Hi, and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing Attack on Titan. This is A Choice with No Regrets Part 2. So, Part 2 of the Levi OVAs. And last time around, it was really interesting seeing this underground city where Levi was, living with some other friends, and they were doing sort of a Robin Hood thing. And yeah, we talked about it plenty. Do you have anything you want to mention before we jump into part 2?
I'm tired, and since you mentioned suicide, I've been singing Chop Suey like constantly by System of a Down in my head. So if I kind of go blank at some point, it's just Chop Suey playing. Now you know.
All right. But let's jump into it. And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for Attack on Titan at the moment, where we are several episodes ahead. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. And here we go.
部下たちの士気に関わります。私もフラゴンと同意見です。ゴロつきの奴らに足りないのは規律と人形の知識だ。それなら短時間でも十分だろう。バカではないらしいからな、エルヴィン。はい。
I'll stare down there. So, okay, Erwin is not the commander of the Survey Corps at this point.
Levi だ。リヴァイ、貴様はまず規律を叩き込んでもらえ。次。イザベル・マグノリア。 よろしく頼むぜ。パーランチャーチです。フラゴン、3人はお前の分隊へ入る。自分の隊でありますか。不満か。
No。
やったー。みんな一緒の部屋ってことか。上司は別棟だ。俺もここがいい。男2人、お前らの寝床はここだ。
I love her. I love her.
It's very energetic.
お前らずっと地下のゴミ溜めで暮らしてきたんだろうが、ここは清潔に使えよ。
You have no idea.
You call this clean?
明日から早速訓練だ。いいな。敬礼の手の甲は下だ。リヴァイ、ここへ来た目的忘れたわけじゃないだろ。調査兵団は必ずお前たちに接触して。
Oh, wait.
多少の抵抗は忘れる。やってもらうことは2つ。
Silly me. Why didn't I think of that? When we were talking in the last one.
I was suspecting this was part of it.
エルヴィン・スミスが持っているある資料の入手。ロボフは憲兵団へ物資を納品しているラング商会と癒着があり、壁外調査の廃止も予算をそちらへ回すためだと。そして調査兵団分隊長。
Oh. Well, what the fuck? Levi has been given a task to kill Erwin.
それ以上はお聞きにならないでください。すべては私の独断です。危険な橋は君自身も奈落に落とすかもしれんぞ。
Yeah, right. Seems like Erwin's always been the secretive kind.
どんな卑劣な手段を用いようと壁外調査、巨人から世界を取り戻す努力を放棄してはならないのです。人類の未来のために。
He is one driven motherfucker. Um.
こいつは俺が殺す。
どこかで乗馬習ったの？いや、でも昔から動物は好きなんだ。こいつも私のことが好きだって言ってる。まさか。本当だよ。
She's just a natural at a lot of stuff. Yeah, things in general.
その剣はそういう持ち方を想定して作られていない。俺は好きにさせてもらう。
He's always been a natural as well.
Yeah.
すべてはやり方次第だ。巨人の探求も討伐も。面白くなってきたな。
I love them so much.
何 の速さ
Already back then. Fast as fuck.
He's small. He can make good speed.
それで方角を知らせるわけかはい危険の度合いは何で分からせる深淵弾の色で区別し
Okay, so that's when he comes up with that whole with the flares and yeah.
くそどこだ
Looking for that document.
He probably has it on him. Or something.
Probably hiding it at least.
決まってるよ。腹巻きの中。
エルヴィンが腹巻きしてるかどうかは知らないが持ち歩いてる可能性は高いで考えたんだけど壁外ならエルヴィンや他の奴らの注意は巨人に集中するからな
ただし俺一人で行く
He doesn't want anything to happen to them.
どうしたんだよ。臆病風なんてらしくないぜ。
できないならこの話はなしだ別の機会を狙う
He does care.
Of course he does.
月も星もないと夜の暗さは地下も地上も変わりない
Huh?
空の色はな同じ暗さでも地下とは違う
ほら月だ。こんなに明るい。違うだろ。
そうさここは地下じゃないんだ
And we didn't mention that last time, but the fact that they do a little song in the middle of these episodes.
リヴァイ俺たちを信じてくれ
Oh fuck, yeah, okay. This is not gonna end well. Because we know that Levi is like all you can believe in is your own abilities and or choose to believe in the abilities of your comrades, but you never know the outcome. Ah, damn. 23rd reconnaissance. Okay. And the one that we saw in in season 1, that whole arc, that was the 57th reconnaissance mission. So I don't know how many years prior this is, but could it be around when, like, the first episode of season 1? When Eren, Mikasa, and Armin, they were way younger?
悪くね
I'm not ready for this.
巨人発見右手前方15メートル圏一体
He's even waving at them.
あれが巨人
団長陣形を狭めましょう雨になりそうです
Ugh.
憲兵団と動きが違う
You don't say. No, stay where you are. Fuck.
あいつら死にたいのか
Right, okay, they got it.
初陣にしてはいい動きだったがガスを使いすぎだ壁外では特に注意しろ仲間たちの命よりも持ち物の節約を重視しろと無駄な動きが多いと言っている何か迷いがあるのではないのかそれはすぐにお前自身を殺すぞ
Okay, there's the rain. Okay.
Fuck. That's not gonna make things easier.
No.
視界が悪い
Yeah, visibility, yeah.
この雨に紛れてエルヴィンに近づけるだが3人同時に離脱するのは不自然だ
仕方ねえ。頼むぜ兄貴。
もし何か聞かれたら地形を確認しに行ってると言え
分かった
Fuck, what's gonna happen to them while he's gone? Is that gonna be the last time he... I know, just shut up and watch.
待っていろエルヴィン・スミス俺がこの手で殺してやる
Yeah. What the?
なんだ何があった。まさかすれ違ったのか。
Oh no, 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 no.
Wow. That's brutal. Ew!
No. Isn't like knew this was coming, but fuck. Whoa.
What? Excuse me?
てめえを殺せ。そのためにここにいる。
I know.
お前を狙ってると分かってて俺たちを。俺たちを信じてくれ。
頼むぜ兄貴。
後悔の記憶は次の決断を鈍らせる。そして決断を他人に委ねようとするだろう。結果など誰にもわからないのだ。一つの決断は次の決断のための材料にして初めて意味を持つ。壁外調査を続ける。リヴァイ、お前も来るんだ。
自分の力を信じても信頼に足る仲間の選択を信じても結果は誰にも。しかしこいつは俺には見えない何かを見ている。ついていってやる。エルヴィン・スミス。進め。俺がこの決断を悔いることはない。決して。
No regrets. Ooh. That was tough. You alright?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though, as I already said, we knew it was coming. But nothing will ever prepare you 100%, I guess. Levi especially. Like, he wasn't prepared for that. But he still ended up joining. He's going to follow Erwin Smith. Hopefully, he's not going to regret it. But that was part 2 of A Choice with No Regrets. Or No Regrets part 2. Whatever you want to call it. Tough to watch, but it made sense, of course. And it ended up with Levi sort of swearing his allegiance to Erwin. He's going to follow him. He's going to be a part of the Survey Corps. Because Erwin is just, he sees something that no one else does. And yeah, that definitely sounds like Erwin. He's always got things going on and he knows a lot about what's going on. And it didn't really come as a surprise that he also knew about what Levi and Fallen and Isabel, like why they were there. Specifically, like the mission they got from this Lobov dude who was sort of like a corrupt, rich asshole who's just gonna get what's coming to him. It seems like that like he's done for anyway.
He was trying to sabotage or like cut off funding for the Survey Corps.
Yeah.
And give that funding to military police instead.
Yes.
And as you say, he was kind of corrupt, and therefore what did you say? The intelligence?
Yeah,
the
document,
documents,
yeah.
at least, that was kind of confirming this was then sent to someone who could
Yes.
end his career. And then I think there was a ploy for safety reasons. He kept a fake with him and kind of let that information kind of leak.
Yeah.
And that's how they got the information that they were supposed to get him, or the document from him. But he was, of course, he knew that.
Yes.
What he was supposed to do to prevent that from happening. Yeah. So.
Yeah, exactly. And he was, he took a calculated risk there with recruiting these three, even though he knew that they were sort of gunning for him and working for someone that he was trying to take down himself, which he was able to do with the evidence that he had on that document. And then he must have just been counting on Levi, at least, to realize the stakes and what is going on. And that is, like one of the calculated risk of taking them with them and on this mission, knowing that they were most likely going to see some of these titans in action and going to see some of this horribleness play out and people dying, like all the tragic things that we knew about. Of course, that was most likely going to happen, but they didn't know how bad it was going to get and just how dangerous these fucking titans are. But Erwin was most likely counting on it, and that's why he was maybe going for Levi most of all. He wanted him to be a part of it most of all because he was like, holy shit, that dude got some potential. Like, he can already move so fast with that maneuver gear, and we saw like how he took down that titan in the end. Like, he's already at that point.
But he was mad.
So fucking mad. And with the piano going on in the background, like, wow, that was
heart-wrenching.
Yes, emotional stuff, but really, really well made.
And when you usually, because he's so like calm, like he's insanely much in control of his own feelings and everything. Like he's like
most of the time.
I could never. I could never. But and so I think that's also why it hits so hard, right? Because he has, as you mentioned earlier, like a hard exterior, and he's not really one for showing too much care about anyone or anything. But the two people that he cared about, and so brutally, one like the head was just ripped off, and the other one was just like he's
torn in half.
Yeah, and he kind of saw that happen. And it, so it has such an emotional toll on us because he's usually so in control, and then he just completely snaps. And at that point, even though Erwin said earlier on, like, you use too much, you have too much unnecessary movement, and you use too much gas. And he's then saying, yeah, well, my comrades was in danger, so should I really value my equipment rather than my people? And he was just like, just listen to what I say, basically. And he, at this point, he gave no fucks. He just wanted to hurt that Titan.
Yes.
So bad. So he
didn't even go for the killing blow at first. He just wanted to fucking hurt it. He really did. That was some badassery, but just hard to watch because of how emotional it was, him seeing him like that, and also the fact that he rode past that Titan, like they passed each other, and he just didn't realize. So he most likely also there was maybe an element of him blaming himself, and like that
All the
anger
way.
seeps in as well.
I think that was also what Erwin was kind of saying to him at this point, because he could see all of this, like the guilt and the anger, the frustration, the blame, everything was going on, and he was just like, "Don't go there."
Yeah, because as soon as you start doing that, you're gonna start. As soon as you start having these regrets about the decisions that you're making, the choices that you're making, you're not gonna be able to do your job as well, and you're gonna be most likely gonna die from it.
Yeah, and you have to
could be fatal.
Yeah, and you have to completely you have to stick to your decision, because go through with it, but also be adaptive. Adaptive. Yeah. So you have to. So every decision leads to a new decision, and you just have to go through with it. Yeah. No regrets, and then you have to be very quick with. That's also a thing we saw. He was. Erwin was constantly like, make your decision. Come on.
Yes.
Like he was constantly banging him with those, like, you have to decide now.
Yes. The most important thing was just, making a choice and realizing that, of course, your choice is going to have consequences, but it's going to lead to a new choice and a new choice.
Yeah.
And also one of the more important things here is we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We don't know what the choices are necessarily going to lead to, but you have to stick by it, and you have to just keep moving on and keep trying to make new and better choices and decisions for humanity, for the people around you, for yourself. Do your absolute best. Have trust in your own abilities, also trust in the people around you. There's that as well. I know that he didn't say that necessarily out loud here towards the end, but that's also part of what's going on inside of Levi. And when we saw him talk to Eren and give Eren advice as well, where he's like, you do it if you feel like that's the right choice to do. When Eren wanted to become the Titan and they were riding through the forest of tall trees, there was that whole back and forth again, and you can definitely see where that comes from with Levi. And the fact that, no, he doesn't have all the answers at all. He doesn't know what these choices are going to lead to, but he does know that Erwin sees something that others don't. So he's going to follow him. That's a choice that he's not going to regret. Hence, a choice with no regrets.
Yeah, and also with the whole, because it is kind of interesting, right? Because we see both, like, where he got what he said to Eren from. We see that he got the whole thing with the decisions.
Yeah.
That comes from Erwin. And then we have Erwin. Erwin. If we should stick by the more European
German pronunciation.
Because
Erwin Smith.
Erwin. It comes from him. But then the whole thing with, like, trusting your comrades and everything comes, or believing in them, that comes from his own, like, that we saw the whole thing.
Believe in us. And
and he even he tried to talk them out of it, because he was like, you're not ready for this, I don't want to lose you. That's not what he said, but that's what he meant. And then they were like, believe in us, we can do this and everything. And then it turns out they couldn't. So that's, you see how what he said to Eren, where that comes from. Both places. And something else, just like a little thing I noticed, like there was 2 feathers at some point, and then later the 2 birds.
Yes.
And I think those birds or those feathers would symbolize them.
Yeah, definitely towards the end there, with the 2 white birds kind of like flying behind him and then up into the sky, and that would seem like that could symbolize Fallen and Isabel.
But it could also symbolize, while it does symbolize, I think it does symbolize those 2 people. I think the first thing, it's 2 feathers. So I think that could kind of symbolize, like, they have, like, free spirits, but they're still
not
on the ground, so they're not free.
And they're still kind of like they don't necessarily are masters of their own, like, destinies, in the sense that a feather is just going to be blown around by the wind.
Yes, and then we cut to where we see the birds instead, and the birds, they're more free because they can actually roam around freely.
Yes,
and so that's like that. Now they're completely free because they're above ground, and they have like they always had that free spirit, but now they are also in a free environment,
Yes,
and actually death kind of set them free completely.
Yeah.
As you said, like that just removed like the constraints of destiny, because
they were free in the very end, even though they actually died. But yeah, I think a way at least to sort of interpret the symbolism there with these feathers, or what?
Least.
Yeah, that's what I said. As a way to interpret the feathers to begin with not being completely free and sort of going with the flow in a way that they don't really have control over. They're caught underground. They're poor, trying to get out of it. And then in the end, sort of being free to make a choice. And the choice that they made were, going outside the walls with Levi to do this thing.
And he let them.
And he let them. He trusted in them. And they were free to make their choice out in the open world for the first time in their lives. It was then also their last choice, unfortunately, but they were free for a while. Sorry, that it's some tough shit right there, man.
Yeah. Well, we know that this world is cruel.
It really, really is. Even more so than just our world, I would say, because we don't have fucking titans trying to kill us. But yeah, cruel world. But there are beauty can still happen. And like it's a beautiful, like there's some beautiful symbolism in there, and great characters, and some beautiful storylines and realizations. Good shit. I really enjoyed these two.
Yeah, however, I just kind of lost a little bit for Erwin.
He was too cold in the end.
Yeah, he was too distant. He was like, you see this person in deep hurt, and
all you say is pathetic.
Yeah.
No one else survived. You're the only one. Pathetic. Like,
he's
dude.
Yeah, he's almost too utilitarian.
So he can't get it as much as he could in the previous episodes. Or well, maybe it was just like we also know like just the amount of pressure that he's under, and at this point in time, him coming up with this new plan to do the reconnaissance missions with the flares. And he had this whole gamble with Levi, but also know they were sort of gunning for him. And yeah, but a lot is happening inside of his head. And maybe he's also just really, 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 really good at putting up this facade and not showing that he cares. And it was another one of those risks, another one of those calculated risks that, okay, I'm not going to show that I care. I'm actually going to be a little bit mean here. And that might have the desired effect I'm looking for. I don't know. I'm trying to make excuses for the guy, even though, yeah.
But that just made me think that I don't think I've really seen anywhere where he was actually like shown compassion towards like individuals.
He's saying the right things, and you can sort of see it maybe.
But you can learn how to say the right things. That's not necessarily something that comes naturally to people.
Yeah.
And like I understand, like he definitely cares for humanity and like winning and everything, but I don't think I've seen much. I'm saying much because I can't really remember anything right now, but there might be points where he actually shown some sort of like individual, like compassion for an individual, and relating, empathy, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
he's saying and doing the right things, and yeah, but still such an intriguing character, and I hope he's going to be a part of this for a long while. I have a feeling that he is, both him and Levi, but
don't
at
trust
least
anything.
Yeah, but you never know. Still, so cool to see, going back in the past, seeing sort of how they met each other, how Levi became part of the Survey Corps, even though it was tough to watch and very emotional. But do you have anything else you wanna add to this one?
Yeah. don't think so. No.
Nope. All right. That's going to do it then for this reaction and review of Attack on Titan OVA, Choice with No Regrets Part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.